Mark 16:15. And then he told them, "Go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone." Our mission work in Uganda is not just a trip. It's definitely not a vacation. It's our long-term partnership with Imani Milele Children to band together with our brothers and sisters in Uganda so that the world may know the good news. This all started in 2011 on Coastal Community Church's first ever mission trip to Uganda. We helped build a school and developed relationships with the Imani staff so we could better understand their need. In 2014, we traveled to Uganda with a team of 11 and hosted our first ever mission trip that included a medical clinic under a jackfruit tree. In the morning, we would process patients, and in the afternoon, we would host a kids' resource ministry program. God kept calling, and so we kept going. We went again in 2016 and 2017 and every year all the way through 2019. And the team grew so fast and so large that we embraced the opportunity to humbly partner with churches and team members from all over the U.S. Even in 2020, your generosity provided government-required thermometers to 72 village churches so they could reopen during the pandemic. And this year, 2 weeks ago in fact, we finished funding a small permanent medical clinic in the school being built in Lusaka, Uganda. In the last several years, we have seen blind children receive sight, malnutritioned children nursed back to health, and literally thousands of malaria cases cured. Now tens of thousands have received health care, and thousands of kids have received school supplies and hygiene education. But those aren't the most important numbers. Over the years, nearly 30,000 children and adults have heard the gospel in their own language from local pastors, and nearly 600 have put their faith in Jesus Christ during those missions. Many have done so at great risk from being excluded from their families. Witch doctors, pagans, polygamists, Muslims, all turning to Jesus. These are the stories from past missions that motivate us to keep going back in spite of all the tremendous challenges from COVID, raising funds, and ministering in remote locations. This year is going to look a lot different. With the government of Uganda removing the lockdown restrictions only months ago, the reopening of the medical clinic on the scale we previously operated on isn't feasible. Instead, we've been invited by Imani to minister through our normal VBS-style kids program and resource distribution for 5 remote village schools. We will also be spending some time with church revitalization. The strategy has been adjusted, but the mission of helping rural churches in Uganda reach and disciple new believers remains the same. We are here to answer God's calling to serve, so that the world may know how to live loved by God and love others with God's love. Pray for us as we remain obedient to God's calling this July 2022.